The word Kafir echoes through history, often draped in misunderstanding and misinterpretation. In its purest form, Kafir originates from the Arabic root kfr, signifying to cover or to conceal. Early Islamic scholars delved into the nuances of Kafir, recognizing its inherent complexity. The Quran employs Kafir in various contexts, highlighting different shades of disbelief. This differentiation dismantles the monolithic image of Kafir often propagated in modern discourse. Early Islamic scholars, luminaries of their time, grappled with the concept of Kafir with intellectual rigor and spiritual depth. They understood the term's potential for misuse and were careful to delineate its boundaries. Imam al-Ghazali, a towering figure in Islamic thought, emphasized that Kafir referred to a state of inner disbelief, not a label to be arbitrarily applied to individuals based on their ethnicity, lineage, or social standing. Imam Fakhr al-Din al-Razi, renowned for his Quranic exegesis, argued that Kafir encompassed a spectrum of disbelief, from genuine unawareness to outright rejection. He stressed the importance of engaging with non-believers with wisdom and compassion, recognizing that faith is ultimately a matter of personal conviction that cannot be forced upon anyone. These scholars, steeped in the Quran and the Prophet's teachings, understood that Islam called for justice, mercy, and respect for all, regardless of their beliefs. They recognized the inherent dignity of every human being and advocated for peaceful coexistence and mutual understanding. Their interpretations serve as a stark contrast to the distorted and weaponized understanding of Kafir that sadly pervades some segments of society today. The wisdom of these early scholars reminds us that true faith transcends narrow interpretations and calls for empathy and understanding. Their legacy serves as a beacon, guiding us towards a more inclusive and compassionate approach to interfaith relations. The world watched in horror as terror gripped Israel on October 7, 2023. Hamas militants, fueled by a toxic ideology of hate, launched a devastating attack, transforming a peaceful Sabbath morning into a scene of unimaginable carnage. Over 1,200 innocent lives were brutally cut short, families torn apart, and communities forever scarred by the trauma. The attackers, invoking the distorted notion of Kafir, sought to justify their barbarity in the name of religion. Their actions, however, stood in stark contradiction to the true spirit of Islam, a faith that unequivocally condemns the killing of innocents. The Quran states, "Whoever kills a soul unless for a soul or for corruption done in the land, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely, and whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved mankind entirely." 5:32. The October 7th attack serves as a chilling reminder of the devastating consequences of weaponizing religion. It underscores the urgent need to confront and dismantle extremist ideologies that preach hatred and violence in the name of faith. Section 4. Blood on the Snows, the Pahalgam Massacre. The idyllic serenity of Kashmir's Baisaran Valley was shattered on April 22, 2025, when 5 militants unleashed a horrifying act of violence upon innocent Hindu pilgrims. The Pahalgam Massacre, as it came to be known, claimed the lives of 26 individuals, leaving over 20 injured, and a community reeling in shock and grief. This heinous act, initially claimed by the resistance front before a swift retraction, once again highlighted the dangerous manipulation of religious sentiments to justify violence. The targeting of innocent civilians, regardless of their faith or background, represents a complete disregard for the sanctity of human life and the principles of peace and compassion enshrined in all major religions. The Pahalgam massacre sent shockwaves through India, exacerbating existing tensions and triggering a wave of fear and insecurity among the Kashmiri Pandit community. The incident underscored the fragility of peace in the region and the urgent need for dialogue and reconciliation to prevent further bloodshed. Section 5. From spiritual diagnosis to battle cry, the distortion of Kafir. The word Kafir, once a nuanced term denoting a spiritual state, has been tragically hijacked and weaponized by extremists to justify their acts of violence and terror. This distortion, fueled by ignorance and driven by political agendas, has reduced a complex theological concept into a dangerous battle cry, fueling hatred and division. This perversion of Kafir disregards the Quran's emphasis on respect for other faiths and the Prophet's teachings on compassion and understanding. It paints a simplistic and inaccurate picture of a complex world, pitting communities against each other based on religious labels. This dangerous manipulation of language has real-world consequences, as evidenced by the tragedies in Israel and Kashmir. It allows perpetrators of violence to dehumanize their victims, viewing them as kafirs, deserving of punishment, rather than fellow human beings worthy of respect and dignity. Section 6. Where faith falters, can violence ever be justified? The answer, from a perspective grounded in true faith and compassion, is a resounding no. Faith at its core is about love, compassion, and understanding. Join us on Soul Spree. Subscribe now to explore history's lessons, inspire change, and transform for a brighter future ahead. Section 7. Towards a dawn of unity, embracing compassion and understanding. As we navigate a world increasingly fractured by division and mistrust, the need for compassion and understanding has never been greater. We must reclaim the narrative from those who seek to sow discord and hatred, replacing it with a message of unity and hope. This begins by rejecting the distorted and weaponized understanding of Kafir that has fueled so much violence and suffering. We must return to the term's original meaning, recognizing it as a spiritual state rather than a label to be used against others. Let us remember that true faith transcends narrow interpretations and calls for empathy, respect, and a commitment to building a more just and compassionate world for all. Let us choose dialogue over division, understanding over ignorance, and love over hate. Only then can we hope to break the cycle of violence and create a future where peace and harmony prevail. Join us at Soul Spree, where history's lessons light the path to a brighter future. Together we explore, inspire, and transform for a brighter future ahead.